Hey, you know what, the big bad black sheep, hot of fire, not a pretender or liar. And it's another reasoning, yeah? So, today's topic is about self-discipline. So, yeah. Recently, it's not even nothing new because rape has been, it's like it's now a part of our culture as Jamaicans, you see me? And to see that the other day with this 8-year-old child that got raped and killed, yeah? And even, the other day I heard another story about a 4-year-old child that got raped by a 17-year-old, that is still even walking freely. And all I can hear is men talking. It's talking, They are not proactive. So, in about a month ago, when I was coming off the road, I was in this taxi and there was another passenger, in the front seat with the driver as well. So, me being there, one of the passengers, the passenger really started to talk with the driver. And they were talking about men and women, and how women are more wicked than men because men are only wicked because they kill other men, and women are wickeder because they lie. Yeah. Somewhat it kind of makes sense, but what really made me had to even speak up, at one point is where I heard the passenger started to say that, he started to express about how if men were really wicked, they would have, team up and did some really heinous things to women. And I'm like, that's still happening. That is happening. And a lot of you males do not stand up for women. Turn a blind eye to a lot of situations that involve women and children. Yeah. And in previous video I've said men can't hold other men accountable because they are the same thing. They understand the need for sex and how that makes them deviant. Yeah. Not to mention the lack of morality, moral code, and having no sense of self-discipline or awareness. Yeah. I've talked about women, but as I've said before, women have the ability, more to control themselves. Yeah. Now, on my musical journey, and, even trading as Rastafari, I've been around a lot of musicians. Yeah, I've rubbed shoulders with a lot of musicians. Yeah. Some of them I respect, honestly, because of who they are. And some of them I don't, honest to God. Simply because of their character. They have no morals, no principle. Yeah. And I am a woman of principle. Yeah. Discipline. Now, I remember this one musician, I was in the camp, let's call it the camp at the time, yeah. And we were there with some other musicians, and we were talking about, you know, children, and I was saying, like, you know, we need to teach children how to know good adults from bad adults. And, you know, that famous musician, you know, also a guitarist, was saying that how he was justifying, you know, pedophilia. Yeah, really. Because this man said that it is nothing wrong. It's just an experience for children to have. It's just an experience. Like, I don't know what kind of pseudo spirituality that fucking is, but that irks my soul, you know. Because ain't no way it is right to fuck up innocence, yeah. But anyway, he went on to even saying that the artist Queen Ifrica is a sick person because she sang the song Daddy Don't Touch Me There. I'm gonna tell on you one day, I swear. You are going to look at a woman like that sang a song like that, and say she is sick, when her father shouldn't even try to touch his daughter. He's sick, yeah. And that's why earthly titles don't mean shit to me, because I realize that a lot of these people in positions that claim to be in top rank, they have no morality, no values, yeah. You can't even trust them with children. No. A next story. I remember with another musician, right, who called himself King and Warrior, whatever he want to be. He came at the house I was staying at the time with my ex, right? And they made some arrangement for medicine, right? When the fellow came there, he came there with the intention of buying nothing, you know. He just came to chat, yeah. As most of these musicians like to do, these so-called artists, they like to go around and just take from people, right? And it's not like others don't try to take from us too as artists, but I see the mentality, yeah, of them, you know. Like, if I am going somewhere to give support, I'm going to give support genuinely. I'm not coming with no scheme and manipulation. Seeing? So I noticed that this man, it took a liking onto me, and it was just weird, right? Weird, I'm telling you. And even me being in front, beside of my ex at the time, you know, this man was in front of us in our home, you know, giving me signals that he is interested, yeah, sexually, right? Now, that's how I know that my ex has no masculinity. Because ain't no way no man can come into my house and look my people and he doesn't leave with at least a broken hand or a foot, you know. Face now mash up. You see, them boy lack aggression towards other males, but make it come to females, you know. Oh, that ego, they're ready. Them ready for fight, them ready for disrespect, disregard, dehumanize a woman. Yeah, a little child. But let them put them in a ring to stand up to other men. They can't. See? So yeah, let me get into the topic now. Self-discipline. Self-discipline, this is two definitions. This is the simplest one first. Self-discipline is the ability to make yourself do things you know you should do even when you do not want to. Right? When you do not want to. My little brother, I may have to respect him, you know. I have to respect him because of the things that he do, yeah. He practice discipline, and I say that. I not be biased, yeah. Because if I see a person doing good, why not, you know, why not applaud them? We like to applaud people when they do negative things. We like to applaud that drama, but why not applaud positive actions? But anyway, he always says to me like, you know, these males like to talk about women not wanting them, but they need to look at themselves and ask themselves if they would date themselves. Yeah, and this is a very realistic brother because he understands personal development. Yeah, and so far on his journey, you know, I can see, yeah, the intention behind his action, that he does want to do better. Yeah, he doesn't want to repeat the mistakes of his father or the men that are around him. And this brethren, yeah, him express him shame sometimes of older men, right? That they give no good advice. They have no discipline, right? No love for self, no regard for themselves, no respect for themselves nor others. Yeah? Now, everybody makes mistake, you know. Anybody can make a mistake, but only a fool, only a fool persists in error. Yeah? You have to realize your actions, your thoughts, your emotion, yourself. As much as you see everything around you, pay attention to yourself. And one thing I have learned in a book called The Science of Getting Rich, yeah, that stands out the most, is that you can never get to the next level unless you more than fill the place that you are in right now. Because even if it's something as simple as to wash up some plates, you know, do it with the most presence, yeah, and the most energy you can conjure up within yourself. Do it the best as you can, yeah, because every little thing that we do, the way how we do it sets a standard. See me? Well, yeah, let me give you another full definition to break down more of self-discipline. Self-discipline is defined as the ability to control one's actions, emotions, and impulses to achieve specific goals or maintain desired behaviors. It involves overcoming obstacles and staying connected to what one believes is right, despite temptations. Key factors influencing self-discipline include willpower and understanding personal motivations. To develop self-discipline, one can practice various techniques and exercises that enhance self-control and focus. Overall, self-discipline is crucial for personal success and achieving long-term goals. Now, most people's goals is to achieve, physical possessions. And nothing is wrong with that. But when the foundation is weak, those things will easily fall away. Easily fall away. Because, I just don't see having a house and a car as just an achievement. It is a responsibility. Because if you can't take care of those things, you're going to lose them easily. Right? That's why character development is essential for success. Yeah? Because if you don't know struggle, if you don't know the process, you will never really appreciate the results. Right? So I can never see people things and want it, because I don't know what they have to go through to maintain that. Right? But yeah, I remember, certain things stick to me, that makes sense. Because in high school, I remember this saying one time, at this, it was like a holding service, and the person said, don't remain poor. And poor, they gave poor an acronym, which meant passing over opportunities repeatedly. Yeah. And I like to give the definition of opportunity: a time or set of circumstances that make it possible to do something. Self-discipline prepares you for opportunities. Yeah? It's like a focus. It's like a binoculars. You not take your eye off the target. Yeah? No matter what presents itself in front of you, you have a vision. So you hold steadfast and navigate, through it all. And one of the best tools for navigating in towards your goals is self-discipline, But yeah, I have some pointers. I would like to share those as well. The best outcome for self-love is to have self-discipline. Now, I see a lot of people saying that, they love themselves, which we all have our own way of expressing that, We all have our own needs. Yeah. But it's not about looking good. Yeah. And if you're doing something good, you will get good results. That's why you will look good. Now, some people seem, I'm in shape, and they think I just wake up like this, but it's something that I have to maintain. Yeah. Always. You have days where I rest, but you know, I have to put in the work to make sure I am fit. You know, not to just look good, but fit to go through this life, yeah, and to be ready for whatever life presents itself as, you see. So, and I don't drink and I don't party. And those who do those things, fine, you know, there's a time for celebrating. But the constant need for that is just a distraction to me. Yeah. I have so many things that, you know, that give me meaning. Beautiful meaning to life. And it's simple things. Most of it is not even outside of me, right? But yeah. Next point. Controlling your mind, body, and emotions allows you to not overindulge immaturely or exhaust yourself to inside and outside forces. So, you can switch your thoughts. Yeah. It's just we think that they belong to us, or they come from us. You know, we are just the observer of them. Our emotions as well. I look at emotions like a river, you know. And you have a time when the rain falls and the river comes down heavy. And when the river comes down heavy, it's not a bad thing. I mean, the river gets to clean itself. Yeah. I think we get emotional sometimes just to purge, you know. We like to hold on to things to feel safe. That's what the human minds does sometimes, you know. It's natural, it's automatic to seek comfort. Yeah. And that's what separates some people from some, because not going towards comfort, you know, pleasure. Yeah, because you understand the polarity of it. If the more you chase pleasure, it's the more pain you're going to feel, and the more you chase pain, is the more pleasure, you know, you shall receive in the end. And when I mean pain, I don't mean like, you know, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, but holding the need for instant gratification, you know, because that is very comforting. That is one of, you know, the most comforting thing to people these days. People love validation, you know. They see that shit as a drug, yeah. And I've seen it keep people in a loop, yeah, because they can't control that need for validation, for instant gratification. And it slowly destroys you, you know. But yeah, another pointer. Self-discipline allows you to self-regulate in any situation. Now, to self-regulate means it's the ability to control your behavior and manage your thoughts, emotions in inappropriate ways. Right? Yeah. Self-regulation is the ability to observe, manage, and adapt our emotions and behaviors to fit different situations. It is a skill set that includes learned behaviors like self-awareness, stress management, impulse control, emotional intelligence, and socializing. Males, a lot of males lack self-awareness, stress management, impulse control, emotional intelligence, and they are antisocial. Not to mention the ones that struggle with mother wounds. Oh gosh. Yeah, those men, they resent the females that love them, that care for them. All because they never got the approval and love from their mothers. So they go around and punish every other woman for that. So sad. Yeah, go heal. Go look at yourself. It's nobody's fault. Yeah. And it's not to be on the mother's side, but to how I see how this world set up, you know, it's like the things that, you know, we are born into, yeah, especially as female, because these males think that you're a maid or a free sex worker, you know, like you just walk around with your vagina on your forehead. That's how you should do it. Yeah, I stay away from that. But you should do it too. You know, take yourself out of hell. Leave some people in misery. Yeah. Because to see myself coming from so far, you know, and it's all because of self-discipline. I've made mistakes, yes, but I'd never let those things define me, you know. And I don't get the support, you know, that I would want. And that it's totally fine by me, no, especially. Yeah. I don't even take it personal anymore. Because I've been through some things, yeah, and I've seen people for who they are, you know, family members, yeah, neighbors, whatever. Those people claim to say that they love and care, but they have stand aside and watch, you know, me go through so many things. And me overcoming it, it's like it breeds this resentment within them as well, you know, because I don't choose to carry those weight, those baggages. And to see even some family members still coming around trying to break down my confidence, I just stay away from them, you know, because they know what they are doing, and I know why they are doing it, and it's so sad for them. Yeah, and they need to just go heal. But yeah, self-discipline is the best control to have, which is an alignment for true power. I've You know, I notice when I go around certain family members, yeah, they will try to bring up, you know, old mistakes, or even try to come, you know, come towards, you know, to break down my confidence. Yeah, they start to talk about my body. Like, so sad, you know. And it's not like for me, but for them, because it's like, you feel so fuck up in yourself. You try, you know, to dim my next person light. I just feel sorry for them. Because them life miserable, you know. No matter how it want look, no matter how it want look like, they want to have more than you. And that's the funny thing, you know. I don't have as much as most people, and they still, you know, feel like I'm above them, which is something that they think, you know, and it's not my business. But anyway, you stand in your power when you can control yourself, when you control your life, you know, and you're not living for everybody else, especially a man. Alright, so self-discipline is the foundation to self-respect, values, morals, happiness, and prosperity. Now, I said happiness. You wouldn't think having self-discipline would make you happy, because you're not doing things that most people deem as fun. And it's so cliche that people think that even living your best life, you know, means going around, sleeping around, and, you know, just drinking tap liquor and, you know, spending money irrationally. Nah. If it's anything you're doing is distracting yourself, you know, from whatever void you have inside. Yeah. Because a lot of things that we want to even indulge in, it corrupts our state of being, you know, our mind. It traumatizes us. So sometimes, you know, it's best to just see some things and just say I'm good, you know. It's cool. Especially if you've been there, done that already. Yeah. And you have peace. And once you have peace, you will eventually be happy. You know? Happiness, you know, it thrives in peace. See? And to be prosperous doesn't mean you have all the luxurious things. I mean, I think being prosperous, you know, to me is being able to just do whatever you put your mind to, and it is done. Yeah, the process kick-started, you know. It's like having a green thumb. You know that any seed you plant, it shall grow. And I feel like that is being prosperous. Because if you don't have the energy of growth, you know, and, you know, being able to nurture things, as I say, you know, things will not stay around you. Yeah. And it takes discipline, it takes self-control to not corrode things, because we human beings are like a virus. Yeah. We have corroded the earth with a lot of our messes, you know, of our ideologies and just straight up madness. Yeah. But this is the last one, the last point, and this is a good one. Self-discipline is an action of accountability. Now, when you can look at your nature, yeah, and accept it for what it is, and go against it. It takes a great amount of accountability, yeah, to do such a thing. And we women should stop condoning men that are illiterate, who have no self-respect, no morals, yeah? We should stop. We should stop giving them access. Well, you should stop, because I've stopped. I'm done. You see? Because all it does is boost their ego to do even more of, their dysfunction. And let me mind you, some of you males out there, yeah, your time is near, know that, yeah, because the earth is round and everything comes full circle. A lot of you women should stop sorrying for these males, because they're fake. They don't like you, they don't like your children. And any man, most of these men, they want to be stepfathers more than they want to be actual fathers. Like their own children, they neglect. They have no discipline. They can't stick to something and, work on it. That is not their intention, because they're takers. Well, yeah. I hope this was insightful. Yeah. I try my best today. But yeah. I was just trying to make this quick, but it is what it is. Just take care, and don't be afraid to like, comment, and share. Allow this platform to grow. Yeah, take care.